Hi, welcome to the video. So today I'm going to teach major, minor, and minor flat 5 first inversion triad arpeggios. I'm going to do 3 fingerings each, which I'm going to just consider the kind of primary ones, and then I'm going to do 2 alternate fingerings also. The alternative ones are perfectly fine, but I don't think they're quite as easy to play or as useful, and that's why I'm going to focus on the 9 main ones. I'm going to show an exercise that plays them off the 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd string, and moves across all the scale positions in the key. And I'll have tab for all that, which you can download on my Patreon page for free. Link will be in the description, and I also show at the end of the video. Okay, so let's jump into this. So inversion, basically, if I take like a C major arpeggio, the C, E, G, or if you're thinking in intervals, the formula would be 1, 3, 5. So that 1 or C note is my root. If I start on that major third or E note, which is the second note in this arpeggio, if starting on a root position, that'd be my first inversion. And then if I start on the G, that'd be my second inversion. We're going to focus on the first inversion. So when you're playing arpeggio, you already will, if you know root positions, you know these fingerings already. But if you don't practice them individually, some of them will have different fingerings than what you normally would play them, and you won't be able to really improvise with them. You know, if you are used to playing your A minor arpeggio, here, you're not going to necessarily think when doing a scale run here to do this little inversion on it. Or same thing if I'm doing, you know, something like this. You might not think to be in the midst of scale run, use those little inversions. So it gives you more options. And I'm going to focus on a single octave because I think for these inversions that's the most effective way to use them, because you can hear the inversion more so. You can hear the difference. If I played from the root position and I play the inversion, it's the same notes, but it's going to sound a little bit different. Plus it puts my hand in a different position, allowing me more options. So normally if I was only playing root positions, I'm starting on a C note in the key of C major, I'd have to play a C major arpeggio. But now you can play a C major arpeggio starting from that note, or an A minor starting from that same note. I'm not going to do the 2 octave ones because, again, if you already know the root position, it's not that hard to leave that note off. But also, when you do a couple octave one, it kind of loses the sound of the inversion to some extent, because the whole second octave is no different than when you do the root position. So most of the notes aren't changing. Anyways, let's go and play this. So if I play this one, which comes from A position, the root is the 3rd note I'm playing, and it's supposed to be A minor, also being key of C major. Then if I move down the string, 6th and 5th string positions will be the same, no different if I'm playing minor arpeggio. So playing the D minor would just be here. And anytime I have 2 notes on strings right under or above each other, I'm just rolling my finger. And then if I move to this larger fingering, the E minor, it'd be this shape. Now, you notice the fingering changed. That's because B string throws everything forward. If I play the same shape here, it's not going to sound right. It's not going to be the same. So it gets pushed forward one. And then one more time, if I'm down here on the 3rd string, both the 2nd and 1st string gets pushed forward. So instead of being this fingering, it becomes this fingering. Again, just rolling those notes. And that comes from this larger shape. Okay, so a good way to practice these, other than the exercise I'm going to show, which covers the whole neck, is to take an individual one. Let's say I want to do this one that starts on F, that's a D minor. You can then go from there and go right into a scale run. I could come from a scale run and go into arpeggio. I could go into the arpeggio and then go into another arpeggio. You know, use everything you already know and combine it with these new shapes, so you really get used to doing them from different options. So you can, when improvising, have many different ways to get in and out of these arpeggios, and then you'll actually start to be able to use them. A good exercise to do is just play an arpeggio, do some sort of scale run, don't even worry about if it's too musical, then from wherever note you end on, do another inversion arpeggio. Or it doesn't even have to be the note you end on necessarily, but one that's close to it. So, you know, end on this note, I maybe would go to a note higher and do the inversion. Or I can practice ascending or descending from the note I'm on. So anyways, and just move around the neck like that, alternating scale, arpeggio, scale, arpeggio. All right, so let's do that next one. So we haven't done in the major ones, which in the key of C major, which all these will be, it's C, G, and F. So I start on the G. That's why I was thinking G. And that this will be actually starting on a B note, but my root is the G. Now I can do the C fingering, again starting on this note, and then I'm going to go to, from this fingering, which is the F, and then from this fingering, so again the 3 and for the majors would be same thing, 5th and 6th string, and then, okay. Now the minor flat 5. You're not going to use this as often, and in the key there's only one place that has minor flat 5. So in the key of C major would be from the B. So I'm going to start not on the B but on the D note, and the B will be my finishing note. Then 5th string, and then 4th string, and then 3rd string. Okay, now let's do the exercise that moves it across the neck. So basically what I'm going to do is just going to start up here. I'm not going to use open notes. So I'm going to start up here because I'd rather use the ones I fret up here. I don't like sweeping across open notes because you have to muffle them or they'll keep ringing out. Plus when you change keys, the fingering will be the fretted position in any other key, and not because the open notes will, you know, not follow you when you change to a new key. So I'm going to be here, and then to make it more interesting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate ascending and descending on this. So by doing that, I practice both the ascending and descending, and then when I reverse it and just come back the other direction, I've also reversed which ones I'm ascending and descending, so by the time I get back to where I started, I've practiced both ascending and descending off every shape. So now I'm going to move it to the 5th string, and there's my minor flat 5, which again will always look a little bit different. So that's the one you kind of have to watch out for. Now I'm going to go 4th string, so B string is going to change a little bit. So I start off with the minor, then here's a major, major, minor, minor flat 5, major, again going backwards. Oops, and I did that one wrong. So there's a major. And then I'm going to do the 3rd string, and this will be starting from major, minor, minor flat 5, okay, so that's all the positions. Let's go look at the tablature. Oh, let me actually first show you the alternate fingerings. And so I want to show you these in case you want to use them, but I really like the other ones better for most uses. So if I'm doing this first one, this A minor, it's just C, E, and A. So I could reach forward for those same 2 notes. But it ends up being the fingering like this, which isn't the most comfortable, isn't as easy to work into the licks in my opinion. I could put that E note back for kind of a mix of the two. But again, unless I'm wanting to shift forward, I'd probably prefer this one in most cases. Well, I would prefer it in most cases, but there are times when maybe I'd use the other one. So now the major, same thing. I can reach forward, or I can put one forward and one back, and then minor flat 5 would be the same thing. This one, I'm starting on the D note, and this one would be even more awkward because that root is actually one up in front rather than directly below it. And then same thing here, D, F, B. So those are on the bottom of the tab, but really I'd focus on the ones we started off with. So I've got on the first couple lines, that's the basic shapes isolated off each of the 6th, 5th, and 4th, and 3rd string. Then I've got the exercises showing, starting each of the strings, and then on the bottom line I have the alternate fingerings that you can use. So I didn't, on the exercise, I didn't put the bass note after the slash just because I didn't want it to look so cluttered, but that's the arpeggios you're playing. Anyways, if you like the video, please click like. Any comments you can leave. All this stuff helps the algorithm to get my videos shown more. Any shares I appreciate. Thanks for watching.